Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to share with you our Bible curriculum for this fall, this 2022 and 23 school year. I've been sharing our Bible curriculum these past few years. I've been putting together our own curriculum, and so I like to share what I've done, what I have ready for our family. We use the Gather Round curriculum, which is a unit study approach, and there is a little bit of Bible sprinkled throughout, but I like to add extra Bible curriculum for our kids. So we start off our school day with our morning basket time, our read aloud time, and we start with Bible time. So that's at the very beginning of our school day. I have put together some Bible curriculum. I don't have like an easy file where you can print out this exact curriculum, but you could put this together yourself. I will post links down below in the description box where I have gotten each one of these printables and what we're going to focus on this year. So if you saw my video last year, we were really redoing what we did last year, changing it up a bit, but it's going to be very similar to what we did last year. So again, to start off our Bible time, we are going to work on reading through the Psalms. We did this last year. We read a psalm every day that we did Bible time, but that wouldn't have been quite every day. I want to say it was probably 2 or 3 times a week. And so I don't know, we got a good part of the way through the Psalms, but not through the end. And so we are going to start our mornings reading through the Psalms, and when we complete the Psalms, we will move on to the Proverbs. So what we do is the kids and I, we each have our Bibles out and we go around and we each read a verse. It's a really good opportunity for me to hear the kids read quite advanced text, reading Bible verses. And I don't hear my older kids read aloud very often, so it's a good time for us. We go through and read a psalm. They're pretty short, so it just takes a couple of minutes, and then we get right into our curriculum. So I have printed up a book for each one of my kids. I have them all here. They all look the same, but they all have a different name down there in the corner. So what I'm going to show you is my book. My book is almost identical to the kids' books. The only thing is that I have one thing added at the front. So there's a look at my book. So like I said, it's very similar to what we did last year in that we were really focusing on memorization, memorizing Bible facts, memorizing the catechism. And so we started this catechism last year. We got through, I think it was about 2 pages of it. And so we're gonna continue going. Each week we work on a question or maybe 2, as well as reviewing all of the other questions, and they work on memorizing the answer. And even my 3-year-old has really done a great job memorizing this catechism. So a lot of people have asked me, please share what your catechism is, and I will link that down below in the description. I will say, as far as what we believe in our family, this one is very, very good. I think there are 2 or 3 questions where I am changing the answer just a little bit, just tweaking it. So you'll want to just look through and make sure. I don't want you to open up the file and be like, this is exactly what Julie believes. There are a couple things I tweaked, but very, very minor. So it goes through and says, who made you? And the kids answer, God made me. And then I ask, what else did God make? And the kids answer, God made all things. And so it's just really good for them to have that in their hearts, in their minds. And we will, review in the Bible and where the Bible says that this is true. The next page I have, we did this one last year, and it is daily affirmations. My friend Jamie Kite made this printable. I just kept everything from last year in here because I figured it wouldn't hurt for us to go back and review it, even if we learned it last year. So we learned the books of the Old Testament and the books of the New Testament. That's from last year. And then I also printed this one up. This is a new one this year. And that's because I want the kids to not only know the books of the Bible, but understand how there are the books of law, the books of history, the books of poetry, and understand a little bit more about that and how the different sections of the Bible work, what they were intended for. We learned the days of creation last year, so we will review that this year. We also went and memorized the 10 Commandments this year. And then we also memorize the disciples of Jesus. So those are things that we will just review. Things like the books of the Bible, I want to always be reviewing because like I want Wesley to learn those now. We will also occasionally do something fun, like we'll do sword drills, which is really good for the kids to learn how to find Bible passages quickly. This is one I printed up last year, but we never got to it. So we're going to memorize the Beatitudes this year. We are also going to memorize, so this is a little bit redundant. I have this one, which is the names of Jesus. But then I also, names, attributes, what exactly is the difference? I wanted to do an A to Z attributes of God paper. This is the one thing you might not be able to find easily unless I can figure out a way to share it because I just typed this out myself. But I thought doing it alphabetically would be really good for the kids to memorize. So these are just names or attributes of God found in the Bible. And so we will just memorize it as a list. God is almighty, blessed, creator, deliverer, eternal, faithful, and just really good for the kids to have on their hearts, just knowing like, okay, God is this in time of sorrow. Christ is our comforter. Christ is omnipotent. He's all powerful. So just good things for them to memorize. This is something I put in the older kids books. Actually, I didn't put it in the younger kids books, and it's not something we're going to necessarily memorize. Can you see that there? But it just goes and talks about the kings of Israel and the kings of Judah. And I thought my older kids might enjoy just looking through that. The names in blue are good kings and the names in gray are bad kings. A couple more things I have in here. I have the Romans Road, just understanding those books or those verses. What verses explain how salvation works, and if you are telling someone else about how Jesus died for them, what verses you could point them to. And then I have this page, which is just showing the, what am I trying to call this? The armor of God. And then after that, I have just a whole bunch of hymns. So I printed up enough hymns. Usually I find my hymns just on Hymnary, I think is how it's pronounced, or Hymnary maybe, HYMNARY.org. I just went and printed up enough hymns for 2 a month. Every day we go through and just sing a verse or 2 of a hymn. And then the next week we will do verse 3 and verse 4 of the hymn. So each couple of weeks they are learning a hymn, not necessarily memorizing, but just learning a hymn. And we sing hymns in our church, so then when they go to church they are familiar with a lot of the hymns. I actually put a couple of Christmas hymns in here, as well as Christ the Lord is risen today, an Easter hymn. And then I also typed up a bunch of memory verses that we are going to go through and memorize. So I'm showing you all this information and it just looks like a lot. So the memory verses, there are 4 pages full of memory verses or memory passages. Bible passages that we will work on. So as I'm showing you all this curriculum, it just looks like a whole ton of info. And how are we going to make this work on a daily basis? So we do Bible time most mornings. We might miss a day or 2 some weeks. So the Psalm and the Catechism, every day we do Bible, we do those for sure. And then we will work on one thing to memorize. So as much as I have all those pages, it'll be like, okay, we're gonna work on memorizing the Beatitudes, and that might take us a month to memorize the Beatitudes, but that's all we'll focus on this month. Maybe once a week we'll go and review, let's review the days of creation today and the Beatitudes. Okay, then we do a hymn and we do a verse. So the Catechism, the reading through the Psalms, the Bible verse, and the hymn we do every day, and then we'll do like one memorization thing. Is this making sense? So I showed you it looks like a lot, but this whole Bible time will take us 15 or 20 minutes each morning. I hope that was interesting and helpful. Again, I will link those printables down below. They're free printables if you want to make your own homeschool Bible curriculum as well. Thank you for watching today's video, and I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye.